It's the end of the month, or it's an end of a launch, or the morning after an event where the numbers aren't quite what you hoped, and the spiral starts. What's wrong with me? Do I need to change my message? Am I explaining this wrong? Am I reaching the right people? Maybe my pricing is off. Maybe my timing is off. Maybe I'm off. And then somewhere in the middle of all of this comes the sentence that sounds spiritual, but it's really, for me anyway, just exhaustion wearing a crown. I guess I'll just trust God's timing. You've said it, I've said it, and sometimes it's genuine surrender. But sometimes, if we're honest, it's resignation with a Bible verse attached. But neither the spiral nor the resignation is actually helping us to see what's really happening. Today, I want to show you a different lens. Most of us have been trained to measure success one way. Some people call it KPI, which is key performance indicators. Numbers, growth, output, attendance, revenue, reach, results. KPI measures what happened in the natural world, and usually in the short term. Usually it's in what can be seen, counted, and compared. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Numbers tell us something. In fact, we need them. They give us information. They're not the enemy. But they're also not the whole picture. There's another lens, and I call it KSI, Kingdom Spiritual Intelligence. And KSI asks completely different questions. KPI says, what happened? Kingdom Spiritual Intelligence says, what happened in the unseen while it happened? Normal methods, KPI, asks, did it work? But Kingdom Spiritual Intelligence says, was I aligned with God? KPI says, what are the results? KSI says, was I walking in truth, love, faith? Was I obedient? Because here's what Kingdom Spiritual Intelligence understands that the normal key performance indicator measurements never can. The unseen always precedes the seen. What happens in the eternal realm shows up in the natural realm on heaven's timeline, not ours. Sometimes KPI says success, but heaven may say something entirely because numbers reflect activity without reflecting alignment, momentum without obedience, growth without fruit that lasts. And sometimes, this is the one I really want you to hear. Sometimes KPI looks like failure, but God says victory. Because the kingdom doesn't measure by appearance, it measures by alignment and faithfulness and obedience, and by fruit that lasts beyond what any spreadsheet can capture. Paul said it this way in 2 Corinthians 4:18. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. This verse isn't about ignoring reality. It's about knowing which reality is more real. This is why you can walk in confidence when the numbers don't tell the full story. Seeds are growing that you can't yet see. Roots are forming that won't show above the ground for a season. Conversations you had 6 months ago are bearing fruit in someone's life right now, and you don't even know it. Victory is already established in Christ. The KPIs just aren't caught up yet. What heaven already knows. And I want you to write this down somewhere. Somewhere you'll see it. We win even when it may not look like it yet. It's not wishful thinking. That's not spiritual bypassing reality. That's not resignation dressed up as faith. That is kingdom spiritual intelligence operating exactly as it should. So, the next time the spiral starts, what's wrong with me, spiral? What am I missing? Maybe I should just quit. Before you spiral further, before you overhaul everything, before you dress up exhaustion as surrender, ask a different question. Not just what do the numbers say, but what is God saying about what the numbers say? Not just did it work, but was I aligned? Was I faithful? Was I obedient to what He asked of me? Because those answers come from a different place than a spreadsheet. They come from intimacy. They come from discernment, from learning how to read and hear what God is saying to you. Not how someone else did it, not in comparison, but what is He saying to you? This is developing kingdom spiritual intelligence, and it changes everything about how you lead, how you measure, and how you live today and moving forward. I have created a gift for you. It is called a Kingdom Spiritual Intelligence Starter Kit. It's designed to help you shift from KPI thinking to KSI thinking in your everyday life and leadership. You will find the link below. And at any given moment, if you are ready to talk, you can go to my website, meetwithdonna.me, at any moment and schedule a time to talk. Grab your spiritual intelligence starter kit. And if you're ready to say yes to all that God has for you, schedule a time and let's talk. Meet with Donna, ME.